Hello everybody and welcome to the Cone Racing League. We are here today for Tier 2 Round 5 at China, running mildly late but not too bad as qualifying will be starting shortly. You've just got me for today as my usual co-commentator Jack. Unable to do today, I can't remember what the reason was why, but alas, you stuck with me for better or worse. So just loading into the lobby now, here we go. Slap everything up. Let's see if everybody is going out to the track early. Yeah, Waitsy going to be one of the first to leave the pits, so we'll keep on board with him for the moment. Let's see what comes of it. Good evening, Greaves. You're the man who got bumped up to Tier 1, aren't you? I think. So here we go, Waitsy leaving his pit box, the first man. Going to be out on track. Oh, I haven't said that. No, never mind. I has feeling cheeky. Is that Kryko or does that fall to Tigriff? That's Kryko. Okay, we'll have more to Kryko then. There's Victor, one of two drivers, I believe, with quali bands. Can't remember if the other one is racing today. I'll quickly have a look at who our reserves are and form on that. So, two reserves today. We've got Carl in the Mercedes. Teammating alongside Tango as Waitsy actually just get back ahead of Kryko, and then the other one is Pan is in the AlphaTauri. That's currently the number up in P2. Oh no, Grooves is racing today. I'm blind. Clearly it wasn't you who got moved up to Tier 1. That was a different driver. But championship wise, very interesting. 5 rounds in now, or well, 4 rounds in, 5th one today, and the top of the tables is looking extremely close. 7 drivers potentially leaving here the championship leader, but more importantly the top 5 drivers is separated by just 12 points, the equivalent of the P6 for CRL's point system. We've got Strange leading the championship after his P3 last week, where both Alfa Romeos. Scream, who's P2 in the championship, had bad races. So Scream 4 points shy of Strange on 66, Taupe 8 points shy of Strange on 62, and then Hobbs and Legend tied for P4, both of them with 58 points, so that is 12 points off the leaders. Oh, it's your first race here tonight, okay. Someone who felt like I recognised your name, but here we go. Waitsy then taking us around for our first lap through this very long right-hander. I believe the turn that goes more than any other in the F1 calendar. Leave some very interesting overtaking opportunities, some even more interesting lap ones. And then coming towards this middle sector where Captain Nick famously got disqualified in one of the races, I think season 5 or 6 that would have happened. And of course, purple sectors for the McLaren driver. Not too many overtaking opportunities in this sector, it's just more follow as close as you can, leave yourself open. That back straight's where everyone is thinking of as Steiny. Retirement in the pit lane, I believe. I'm honestly uncertain if that is a quali ban or not. We can get around to having a look at that. But here we go, entering final sector. You've got this tight section here, and the exit to this corner absolutely paramount to how your lap is going to be onto this back straight. Always reminds me that time Schumacher had a spin before it, way back in the early 2000s. And then that monster of a Ferrari engine just going straight back up to full speed. Was able to actually fight into this corner despite having made a mistake prior, as Waitsy leading us around that final corner. The best overtaking opportunity for the lap towards the final corner. Going here, we're going to see a few drivers going wide throughout quali throughout the race, but Waitsy keeping it within the right lines and setting us a 1:31.2. First man out. Let's see if Kryko can top him. He can. No, he can't. Another 1:31.2, but not quite enough, as this Dylan will be the next man. Dylan, birthday boy, apparently. Didn't hear how old he's turning, but one more year than it was last time. A 32 flat on the mediums. Of course, a banker lap for him as Tigriff puts it into P3, slotting in behind his teammate. Slowest soft times legend. Man tied for P5, or sorry, P4, sets himself 3rd fastest. So a bit of a break now, gives me time to breathe and actually have a look time board again. I think Nelu Safu, next man, as he comes into the heavy braking zone, I'm sure we're going to see 2 wide, 3 wide plenty of times down this back straight. Nelu rounding final bend. Didn't look like his car was overly stable there. There we go, 31.5, set up very important around this track. Do you go fast to the middle sector, or do you go for overtakes on the main one? As Carl goes P4, Tango goes P7. We've got one of the Ferraris, Hobbsy, going P8 now. As Greaves, the man who said it was his debut, at 31.1, just straight up to top of the timing board. He will be happy with that one. Strange now. See a driver ahead. You shall stay well out the way. And oh, he's gone wide. And he's not slowed down. So 31.6 now. He's been caught on stream. Essentially, if he doesn't improve that lap, he will get a quali ban. So no pressure. I need to snitch on one of our drivers there. But let's see, who else do we have coming towards the line? I think Nolsey will be the next man. Is Nolsey, no, finishing off his lap. Okay, well, we'll follow Nolsey for the majority of his lap. So here we go. He does have an AlphaTauri behind him, likely to be. Is that going to be Pan on his outlap? Not entirely certain. Got a purple first sector for Nolsey. So, looking at the timing board, Tope, man P3 in the championship, he goes up to 8 on the timing board there. Quite slow there actually. P7 and 8 currently in qualifying. Strange and Tope are P1 and P3 in the championship. And Alfa Romeo, or both Alfa Romeos I should say, have been historically, so far this season they've just been quite inconsistent. Kind of, they have one amazing race one week, and then the next week they'll have a little bit of a flop. You see the Mercedes staying well out the way of Nolsey, coming towards this final corner. Yeah, not really using the inside curve too much, but it is something to be scared of. Here we go to the line, P2 for the Ferrari man, 31.2, we'll be happy with that one. Pan reserve starting his lap now. So, who else is on a lap? Tope, I assume, on an in-lap, and we've got Dylan on an out-lap. I think we are on board with the only driver setting a lap at current, so stay on board with the AlphaTauri, set on the purple first sector, but I never know how much to believe them. Tango saying hoping for a decent amount of points, abysmal last 2 races. You are tied for P6 in the championship. A good result today could see you leaving here championship leader, although I know you kind of you were championship leader. Was it post round 2 or round 3? And then you said yeah, never again. I think it was post round 2, I am not mistaken. Ooh, a slide, very nicely caught, but it's going to hurt the lap time there. Now, no slipstream for the AlphaTauri, which I feel quite lucky for that to happen. The driver is discouraged from working their teammates too much to make it unnecessary. Part the hoop, go around in the last couple of corners. The China pit entry, very famous for a couple of reasons. Number 1, 2007, the penultimate round before Interlagos. Lewis Hamilton broke that bit too late going into the pits and beached himself in the gravel pits, which has since been removed, causing him to be removed from the race and ultimately lose out on a potential championship in his rookie season. And then the second one that more people will recognise, is Sebastian Vettel overtaking under safety car in the pit entry, being the nerd he is, understanding the rules perfectly, and not being held up by drivers slowing down to avoid the double stack. Can't say I know how old the Chinese track is, and for a fact it's at least 15 years, just based on that Hamilton fact. Suspect a little bit more as here we go, Jacob getting a cheeky bit of slipstream from that Ferrari. Seeing what he can do. One or two drivers yet to set a lap. All those who are retired, I believe it was quali bans being served. But don't quote me on that, I may be mistaken. So here we go, very good usage of the inside curb, something a lot of drivers have been aboard with have missed. 31.4, so currently provisionally third row for the Alpine driver, not too bad. Where's he sitting in terms of the championship? P9, so around the middle as fastest goes Kryko. The Haas up to the front of grid. We've seen some fast results from him, especially the pre-season test, which is of course the least important one. I suspect he'll be happy to be up there this time around. So Tigriff, see if he can follow his teammate. No improvement for him. Not going to happen. Trying to work out which of the next cars to the line. I think Nelly Safu just started his lap, and then one of the Mercedes will stay on board with Birthday Boy for the moment. I think we'll have to keep an eye on Tango's on the timing board. Tango, no improvement that I can see. How about Trevor Alfa Romeo? This is Tope starting off his lap. Okay, so no, it will be Strange, and then man on board with Dylan the next two to set a lap here this qualifying. So Strange crossing the line up into P2, 6,000ths clear of Greaves. And can his teammate know? His teammate P8, certainly an improvement, not the same calibre as his teammate as Hobbsy puts it up into P2. Exactly 100th behind our current provisional pole man. Is that a Williams or an Alpine coming to the line? I think it is the Williams of Legend. The Legend has shown some good pace. I mentioned him earlier, one of the ones, there we go, straight to the front for him. One of the ones who I consider to be in the championship fight, certainly for the moment. Nelu Safu, their next man. Let's see where he ends up. P4 for the Williams teammate of our current pole man. 3 drivers into the 130s, all 130.9. Very, very close up front, less than 4,000ths separating the top 3 drivers. So Tango, no, he's on an in lap, okay, but behind him Tope is not on an in lap. He's looking to improve his time. He certainly manages that. 31.1 for the Alfa Romeo. Strange is on an in lap. I know a lot of drivers now are going to be doing so. Yeah, Hobbsy certainly seems to be. Is that Carl going fast? But not burning ERS, so no, I think he's also going to be on an in lap. And Farrell yet to set any time at all. Just a quick look through the order. Dylan going to be coming in. Tope just sort of set a lap. Nelu, yeah, that looks like in lap territory from him. Actually, just going into the pits now, so we'll wait and see who are the first people to leave the pits. But for now, Williams of the Legend pulling into the pits, getting ready for his last run shortly. A 1:30.943 to beat currently. We'll take this moment to have a look. So most drivers, of course, are setting laps on 1 lap old sauce. Dylan and Tigriff being the exception, and of course kind of Farrell, who's yet to even set a lap. There's a few cars leaving the pits there. You can see how close these times are. The top 14 drivers separated by less than 7/10, less than half a tenth on average between each and every driver, which is mad close. Incredibly close between all the drivers. So I think Pan actually just starting off a lap here, currently the slowest on the timing board. Actually, I thought that time was set on mediums. I guess I'm mistaken there. Who was it who set a time on mediums earlier? Not sure. If they've now improved it with a soft time. So potentially time for a lap, a cool down lap, and then another lap afterwards, depending on how the tyres are feeling. Showing a purple first sector. I know with Codemasters to never trust when it says that, but stands a chance of being true. So there we go, half a second green so far. That's only looking though at a 13th position. Needs to find more time in the last sector. A bit of a messy track ahead, but shouldn't be too bad. All the drivers are actually starting laps themselves. Farrell is now out on to the track. Well, hang on, no, Farrell coming into the pits. Maybe another quali ban. Wait, see. Interesting. It's P10 for the AlphaTauri of Pan. Now, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea why so many drivers have retired from this. I don't know if Waitsy doesn't think he can improve. Waitsy does have an identical time to Pan. I know at one point there was a glitch where if you chose to retire yourself, it improves your time by 1,000. Doubt that's still in the game. At least we hope so. Tigriff leading us round through the second sector into the third sector now. 10th and a half up. Might not sound like much, but that could be the difference between his current position and P11, and with an entire another sector to gain. So those top 10 drivers separated by less than 3.5 tenths. These times all so close together now, and I'm going to have an absolute pain of a time trying to work out who is the next driver to cross the line. I think Tigriff will be the next man. It's starting out, so finishing off his lap. So here we go to the line, and Tigriff setting a 31.3. So yeah, P11 was only that P11 we said it might be. Let's hope that start is that slow AlphaTauri there. What does he do to start on the racing line? Not entirely sure. Into the pits, I guess. Done for them. Nolsey across the line. Who's that other driver? Just got to the line. Jacob stuck in P12. Okay, then it will be Hobbsy, the next man to set his final lap. One of the Red Bulls following behind. All a moment by Hobbsy. Catches it, avoids it getting on the grass, but it's probably going to cost him big here. Good use of the curbs though. How much improvement? 26 thousandths. You know what's the difference between third and second? But not quite enough. There we go, P6 for Dylan. That mistake could have cost him potential pole position as Tango moves up into P14. Kryko, a 30.76, it's straight up to the front there. Greaves next man to the line, currently P8, stays into P8. Carlin validating on that final corner, then Strange, next man 10th and a half on him at the moment. Looking at a P4, can he improve any further? P2 for him, a 30.8 there. I think Nelu Safu, next man up to P2 again. 2 thousandths he's got over Strange, my goodness. So Legend, I'm not sure we'll see improvement here, no. Brief towards the end of the lap though. Tope takes the pole, the last man, oh no, the second last man to set lap up to the front of 30.744 Zano. We are going to have Tigriff pull into the pits, leaving Taupe, our man, on pole. Kryko just behind him. A relentless front row, but what an end to the qualifying. People just kept one up in each other, as Tango's saying. Yeah, first two sectors, terrible. The whole grid separated by less than 3/4 of a second. The top 6 separated, well actually the top 4 separated by less than 1/10 there. Absolutely incredibly close. And yeah, Pan has manually retired and gained that 1000th on weight seat to move up from 11th to 10th. I was right, that glitch is still in the game, and Codemaster things. Here we go, a quick run through the order again. So Taupe up the front, not something new this season, but something he'll be happy to see again. Actually, German front row as well as a relentless front row. So Taupe, Kryko front row, then Nelu and Strange second row, Legend, Hobbsy, Dylan, Greaves, Nolsey and Pan finishing out the top 10. We've got Waitsy, Tigriff, Tango, AJ, Wuhan and Carl finishing out those that set quali laps here. Then Scream, Farrell, Steiny and Victor, if I'm not mistaken, all with quali bans. No other reason to not have set a time. We'll have a look to see. I'd be surprised. So many drivers. So Farrell, Steiny and Scream all have quali bans, but I remember saying 4. I don't think, I don't know. Who's the 4? Ah, memory's enough. Either way, at least 3 of the 4 of them who did retire did have quali bans. Hope I'm not as complaining at the end of the race. Well, Tango, you have my my luck and support on your side. Though, unfortunately for you, as do all the other drivers. So, you will see how the race turns out. But it is looking to be a very close one, given how qualifying looked. See all the front wings lined up among the garages. Actually, that screen has itself shown on it. But here we go. Drivers now choosing setups, choosing strategies. I've heard no complaints of rain. I have heard complaints of Greaves invalidating a lap that would have been P6. But we'll see come race China. Always a chaotic turn 1. Jostling for position. Do you want the inside for the first bit? Or try and hold around the outside and get the inside for the second bit. So actually, while I'm waiting for the drivers, it was Kryko who won last week. The podium was Kryko, Waitsy, Strange. I remember some very interesting battles at the end of that one. Some penalties that came into play. I'm trying to remember who it was. He was right up fighting at the top, but had some penalties they had to serve. I'm not entirely sure with that one. But here we go, race about to start. So 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are up. And away they go. Finally get access to these things. Let's have a look at the tyres. Mostly hard, especially up front. There's already Kryko going for a move up the inside, as is Strange at the inside of Nelu Safin. That inside line paying dividends for the moment. As of yet, not seen any big contacts. It's Mercedes. Actually, there's an Aston Martin gone wide further down. That looks to be Farrell, judging by the timing. Boards is here. A bit of a shuffle around. P3 is side by side there between Greaves and Legend. There's all the rear ending there. That was Pan into the back of his teammate, causing drivers to fall down the order. Steiny side by side, T-Griff choosing to back out of that one. Chopping and changing here. There's Hades trying to go around the outside now with the inside line. Can he get the move completed? Looks to be the case. Carl up into P13, the leaders at the moment. I mean, they had their initial fight, but settled down ever so slightly. The top four almost pulled away from the rest of the grid. There we go, now pulling onto this back straight. And look at the way the cars all just appear onto this back straight. Looking for the move up the inside is Strange. Can you see it complete? Kryko on the outside. Hobbsy getting the view from behind. You know what? Hobbsy might get a cut back on Kryko here. And what a move by Hobbsy. Look at him go. Up into P2. Goes the Ferrari man on the mediums. Be looking to make short work of them if possible, to make the most of those tyres. Strange with fastest lap by Hobbsy round the outside. And it looks like he has managed to get two drivers in just as many corners with some very clever car placement. Hobbsy, never a man to be underestimated. I always make the mistake of underestimating him, and he always just he's there somewhere. No matter what happens in the race, he's near that top 5. He's in that top 5, and come the end of the championship, he is always someone in the top 25% of the order. Currently tied for P4 in the championships, certainly living up to his previous seasons. Top on board. Yeah, Dylan right on the tail of Legend. Wobble from Kryko. Tote backing out early though, not wanting to hit into the back of him. Now these two started first and second, now down to third and fourth. Yeah, Tope actually started on pole all the way down to the 4th position. So alongside him pulls Legend, and actually looks like Legend is going to get through. The Tope's got him back. Actually Strange is through into the lead, all chopping and changing all over around the front. So missing the lead battle, but Strange and Hobbsy side by side as Legend and Tope are side by side. Hobbsy trying to go around the outside, and hang on, I've got to hop on board with this. Still side by side, Kryko with perfect view from behind. As Hobbsy hits fastest lap, immediately taken by Strange, and then by Knowlesy, and then by Jacob, and by Pan. Everyone taking fastest lap off each other. Hobbsy, in the end, holding on to that first position. And all of this going on before we've even seen the DRS come into effect. I believe this to be the first lap where we're going to see the effects. That's a VSC. Why is that a VSC? It's because Greaves has been out of this race. Let's see if I completely missed that. Looked away for 1 second, but a VSC for the moment. So here we go. Farrell and I believe also Waitsy both given drive-throughs for speeding under VSC, not obeying their delta. It's Hobbsy a decent getaway here. But when DRS comes into play, that gap is going to come down really, really fast. Unable to make the move, Sticks coming from slightly too far back, but able to close down the gap, and he's got another DRS zone coming up ahead of him now. Needs a good final corner though, runs a little bit too deep, and he's not got that final turn he needed. Hobbsy a likely safe for another day. Further down the line, everyone's got DRS, so everyone protected by the car ahead of them. Hobbsy for the moment remaining on top as further back, Waitsy pulling into the pits to serve his drive through immediately. Farrell choosing to do it later, it seems. see any action further down the field. Oh, a moment from Jacob here. Has a little wobble. And has another wobble. Does seem to be struggling. And again, I don't know if that's tyre temperatures, car setup or what, but does not seem to be at one with his car, and that is the last thing you want as a driver. Once you lose confidence in the car, all your pace just absolutely leaves you behind. So here we go, Strange with a good exit, gaining before he's even got any DRS here. Here we go, DRS opened and sailing on by into the lead. There's a little bit of moves going on further down. Strange up into the lead, and I would not be surprised if Hobbsy gets him back here onto the main straight. A good exit is all he needs. Decent one there, already gaining time. DRS, ERS all coming into play, and Hobbsy up the inside of Strange back into the lead. This is racing smart. This is like Leclerc in Bahrain 2022. Nearly mixed up my years there. Let them have you on straight. You can get them onto the next and remain ahead. Overall, still a DRS train all the way from first down to P11. Mixture of hards and mediums still. None of the top 14 haven't pit just yet, as that is a yellow. That is for Steiny. See, oh, must have just been a brief off, but he is 4 seconds down on his fastest. That's another yellow. I think, however, that is just for Waitsy. Oh yeah, Waitsy retiring in the pit lane. Is Hobbsy going very wise? Now, is that his chosen line, or is that a mistake by him? I am not too sure, but it does not seem to have done enough to hold on to the position for the moment. Now, does Strange go for the move again? Yes, he does. Hobbsy remaining right on the back of his car. Let's see how close all the drivers behind are. Hobbsy again. Decent exit. Not as strong as last lap. I will not be surprised if he doesn't get in into turn one this time around. No, Strange holding on to that position for the moment. Yeah, glad to keep the man on hard tyres behind. Sorry, the man on medium tyres behind. Let's have a look further down the order at other battles. Actually, P8, 9, 10 and 11. You got the two Alpines followed by the two Mercedes. Actually got an awesome battle that seems to be going on here between Tigre and Farrell. I keep seeing their names switch around. Farrell does feel like struggling a little bit more compared to Tigre. He's running deep into every corner here, losing so much on the corner exits. Does not seem to know how to best extract his setup. So we have a look here. Strange pulling away from Hobbsy a little bit. I don't think anyone in this tier would claim Hobbsy is the fastest driver on this grid. It's the fact you always see him so consistently at the front. He races so much smarter than some of the other drivers. There's Pan getting past Carl up into P11, although actually costing the two of them DRS to group ahead, as Tango himself actually a mistake, it seems. He's lost him that little bit of ground. So, quarter of the way through the race at the end of this lap. And at the moment the field is still very compact, following qualifying a little bit, although the guys at the front are starting to spread out a bit more than they were before. That always seems to condense back down, come this back straight. Hobbsy closing on the Strange again. But I think at the moment Strange just seems to be slightly faster on the pace. Might be able to pull away here. A few rounds of DRS. It's hard to say. He's very much, Hobbsy is one bad lap and he is dropped off the back of Strange, but for the moment he's safe. Does mean that every lap matters for the both of them. So at the moment, Farrell, Tigriff and Scream, actually Antifa, Steiny and Nelu all going to be hoping for the safety car to allow them to get back into the race, especially Farrell, who's way down the order. Front two boys though have pulled away from the rest, and that is going to open up more overtaking once this train of DRS starts undone. It's going to give advantage now. Hobbsy is more than a second back, but he wasn't at the point of the DRS, so he is going to have it for this lap. Obviously not going to get an overtake. The same cannot be said for Legend, who now has a Kryko who does not have DRS to defend himself. And almost getting done by Taupe as well. The camera angle is absolutely rubbish by Codemasters there, looking backwards. I want to look forwards. Here we go, coming through the last corner. Now, are we going to see any more? Knowles, he's gone. Oh, he's gone into the pits. He's very quickly gone into the pits as well. I do wonder how White Liner Bane went for that one. I'll hop on board though with Kryko, who seems to be right on tail of Legend. That gap quite small now. Ooh, big moment there, and that's going to allow Taupe around the outside of Kryko. And yeah, Taupe finally through. These two who started on the front row seem to be gradually moving down the order together, both struggling a little bit, with Dylan now right on to the back of Kryko. Two Alpines behind, swapping position as Farrell further down the order, picking up the fastest lap. He's got a clean track, he's got fresh set of softs. And now the drivers at the front seem to be a little bit more fractured. It's Dylan right on the back of Kryko, and Kryko another position down now. See any moves, possibly the Alpines swapping again. These Alpines seem convinced to fight here. Victor and Jacob battling away currently for P7 as Carl pulls himself away into the pits. So wait, see. Sorry guys, had to leave. Been feeling unwell most of the day. Just not at the races. Then, oh, you got a glitch drive-through. So understandable retirement there from Waitsy, given that fact. Shame for him. A driver who's shown a pretty solid amount of potential so far. P7 in the championship. That is tied on points with P6. There's a little wobble there. Strange. Look at that gap built up, but actually so does Hobbsy. It's Legend who needs to worry. Has the pack closing in behind him. Quite a large number of drivers. You can see Tope really right behind him. Now, depending on where this fighting happens, it might help them try and get back onto Hobbsy's car, or it might cost them more time. If all they do is swap positions on each of the DRS straights, that could prove beneficial, but if they're going to battle in the middle sectors, that's when it's going to cost them across the course of the race. They're going to fall back. Strange and Hobbsy going to be in an even stronger position, and Strange potentially using the hard tyres first might be in a very strong position. Though with the hard medium versus the medium hard one stop, not seem to be a massive amount of patence difference between two tyres. Okay, so here we go, going round again onto this back straight, but we've seen the majority of the overtakes happening. Dylan looking hungry for a move here. Is he close enough though? Two drivers behind certainly seem to be Victor getting past Kryko. Dylan though deciding not today. Side by side pan up the inside of Tango. Tango, the man who said could not get his quali lap down. The first two sectors were not very good at all. As hang on, Legend seems to have, oh no, Legend pulled off into the pits. As Jacob picking up a penalty on pit entrance there. Too many warnings. And those pits have again fractured the drivers a little bit more and more gaps between them. So some medium runners pitting at the end of lap 11. Seems a little on the early side for me, not massively. Perhaps I'll be waiting until lap 12 or 13. Let's do a quick look at the big gainers and losers so far. Now, not quite at the halfway point, but getting close. Victor, where on earth did he start? I've done this wrong. There we go. Victor started way down in P19, right at the back of the order, having to service quali-ban, and the man now all the way up into P5, 14 positions. Dane's next biggest gainer, Steiny's from P18 up to P10. Boys at the back certainly seem to have gained an awful lot. Tango is up 5 positions. Hobbsy and Dylan up 4 positions both. Strange up 3 positions, as is Pan and Scream. A few losers throughout the field. Nelu, Legend, Tigriff. Most of them are going to be down to pit stops. Yeah, currently the top 10 are yet to pit, so those who have pit. That's it. Legend in the net lead, and actually Legend right on the back of Steiny here. Say right on the back, 1.8 seconds behind, going to be faster due to the car. Red Bull temporarily inheriting a 1-2 as Hobbsy comes into the pit. Hobbsy for 12 laps on the mediums, so presumably 16 on the hards, unless it all goes to pots. And Legend has come out on track just behind Hobbsy, pit 1 lap earlier. Actually, it seems that undercut very, very powerful. If these two can avoid fighting too much, they might see themselves come out on track ahead of Strange. We will see what mindset they're going for. Legend certainly seems to be challenging a little bit. Will he slot into that position? Will he only go for the move once they're onto the back straight? And how much is the pressure going to affect Hobbsy? Is the dirty air going to affect Legend? There's Nolsey also just behind at the moment. Legend in a Ferrari sandwich. And now, here we go. The overtaking opportunity at the DRS zone. Steiny providing DRS for Hobbsy up front. Now, would not surprise me if Steiny ends up P11 by the end of this. Let's see what happens. Hobbsy passed. Legend passed yet. Nolsey also passed. So Nolsey on the inside. 3 wide traffic jam there. Hobbsy easily getting through. Legend does remain ahead of Nolsey in the end. But 3 of them all kind of being quite courteous and waiting for each other there. Not racing so much as a bit of British politeness. I don't think... Are any of those British? I think Hobbsy's British. Not sure. Don't want to get that wrong and don't want to get calling a Scottish person British. I want to keep my head on my shoulders. But in the end it is Hobbsy who comes out on top. Strange will not be pitting, I presume, until lap 16, maybe lap 15. It's certainly unlikely to be the end of this lap. The moment just has clean air to get his head down and focus. Dylan and Pan, the 2 drivers, started on the mediums, yet to a pit on then. T-Griff down in P16, somewhat included, though that was a first lap pit for damage. So is Tope going to see his way through past the medium rows? Dylan will end up pitting this lap, and if he is, does that mean he's going to fight it that bit less? Tope, he is near enough, he's going for the move up the inside. And Dylan trying to hold on here. Now, is he going to go into the pits? It doesn't look like he is going to go into the pits. He's going to go round one more time. Further back, Pan not pulling into the pits. The Kryko is on the hard tyres, interestingly. So this battle's still ongoing, going to cost them across the course of the race. Hobbsy still the front runner of any of those who have pitted, and Steiny still going on, currently P11 behind quite a few drivers who have pitted. Himself having not yet pitted. It's feeling like it's starting to settle down a little bit as the drivers have spread out that bit more. Gap though remaining about 4.4, 4.3 between Tope and Strange, both fast drivers. They've proved it in multiple weeks now. Strange, our championship leader, got a podium last week, and though while only a P3, certainly could have been a lot more. Yeah, he played his cards ever so slightly different. So rounding the final corner now, Dylan. No, Dylan not pitting. Strange pitting, Tope pitting. What on earth strategy is Dylan going for? Is this a medium soft? Still going, as is Pan. The two of them seem to be, for the moment, on the same strategy. Now, I am going to stay on board with Strange. I'm going to see where he comes out on track on his fresh mediums. And there flies past Hobbsy, Legend, soon to be Nolsey. Even AJ Wuhan's got back through. So Strange, of course, on the fresher tyres, on the softer rubber, and once that is up to temperature, he's going to be the far faster one. But for the moment, the undercut has paid its dividends. He's going to have a few drivers to work his way through. And while they're in a little bit... Should they in a group? Well, Hobbsy and Legend are together for the moment. If they work together, they should be able to keep him behind a little bit more. Much easier to pass one car than it is to pass two or more, given that long back straight, those two DRS zones. Can always protect each other there. Is this a pass for P10? No, that's just a Kryko on the back of the Scream on old tyres. Very well could shortly be a pass to P10. Kryko, a fast boy. I mean, Scream's not exactly slow himself, but his tyres are going to be at this stage of the race. As Tango has moved himself up into P2 past Pan. 4 drivers yet to take their first stops. Here we go up the inside, and actually there's 4 drivers here. This could get messy as they go in 2 by 2. A little tap on the rear of that Alfa Romeo. Taupe on top, it seems. How's this all going to end up playing out? Scream's actually dropped all the way to the back of that group, and it ends up being, what is it, Taupe, Kryko, Victor, and then Scream at the back of them. That could change yet again into turn 1 as Victor looking up the inside of Kryko, tags him on the rear, though I think that was a case of Haas turning in ever so slightly, trying to hold it around the outside. As he managed it, he certainly has. Can he complete the move? What's going to end up happening? Scream, a perfect view of the 2 from behind. Neither driver relating still side by side here. Victor with the inside, Kryko with the outside. Kryko trying to swing around the outside here, and I think Kryko finally passed Victor after an incredible side-by-side battle. Just allowed Taupe to completely pull away. Cost them both a lot of time, I guess. So once you're in that fighting mindset, you are not going to want to give up that place. Sorry, forgive me there, I had to mute my mic. I managed to breathe in some water, so I had a quick coughing fit, but Knowsley dropping back a couple of places. Both Strange and AJ ran getting through as the front guys finally coming into the pits. Hobbsy inheriting the lead. Now the question is, what is Hobbsy's gap down to Strange? The answer, 4 seconds. So that is the important thing. Now the other question is, can the likes of Edgeruhan and Knowsley cause any problems for Strange? Are they going to keep within his DRS range? Are they going to battle him, prevent him from pulling away? Doesn't seem to be the case. That gap has opened up to more than 1 second now. So unless there is a slight mistake by Strange, it seems his job, and one job only now, is to close that gap down to 2 leaders. No longer is Legend getting the DRS with Hobbsy. Actually, that gap is coming down remarkably quickly. Already down to 2.9 seconds, almost seems to be gaining an entire second a lap now. Let's hop on board with Strange and see the gap ahead to the 2 leaders. Current lap times accounted for, absolutely flying compared to the rest of them. 10 laps after this one. Changing positions further down. Dylan up the inside of Kryko. The 2 Mercedes boys side by side as Tango overtakes Carl, and Pan having a cheeky late look. Strange, yes, Strange set in the fastest lap of the race. No surprise there, given just how fast that time came down. Dylan taking it off him though on those soft tyres. Was Dylan a medium soft or a hard soft? I cannot remember. But into turn 1. These 2. Nelu seems to have got Scream for the moment. Scream not doing the best for his championship hopes. He needs to try and do better. Looking very good for Stranger's championship at the moment. It's a small mistake by AJ up ahead, we saw that. And Strange now on to the back of Legend, a man absolutely on the hunt, demonstrating the dominance we've seen Red Bull possess in real life at the moment. Seems unstoppable on these fresher tyres. It almost could have gone for the move here, in fact. Decides better of it, wants to get him down straight now. If he gets this right, he can get past, get the DRS of Hobbsy down the front straight and close right onto the back of him. We'll see how this plays out. So DRS kicking in, this should be such an easy job for him, given the pace he's possessed. Sends that the inside. Legend doesn't even try to defend. He knows it is not worth doing. So now Strange, can he close the gap down? Can he get DRS onto the main straight? The answer is yes. Did manage it perfectly, and already now going to close right the way down as Pan out of this race. See if we can see his car anyway. That's a VSC, and no one really able to view car at the moment, just a VSC, no safety car. Few drivers pitting for softs, well presumably for softs though. Let's see what we got. Knowlesy onto fresh softs, as is Kryko. I assume the same from there though. Scream certainly is. Carl, fresh set of mediums. As Kryko getting the drive-through for speeding under safety car. Now the advantage at this stage of the race is if that is a glitch drive-through, there's no risk of it being served. Oh, hang on, what's this? Bit of battling between Tigriff and Steiny, causing Steiny to go wide there. So, excuse me, I had to sneeze for a second. Just to mute my mic in time. By mute my mic I mean yank it out the headset, because there is no mute button. But there we go, Steiny up into P14. There we go, this is what matters. This is the battle for the lead. Hobbsy, P4 in the championship. Strange, championship leader. Both shown pretty well. Hobbsy shown better consistency. Strange shown better pace so far this season. At the moment it seems the pace winning out in the end. Now we'll hop back on board if it looks like there is going to be an overtake. At the moment this battle for P4 seems a lot more likely to show anything. Is Hobbsy going to fight this back? No, not quite near enough to go for a move, and he's going to drop back in that second sector before 2 DRS zones, possibly even out of DRS detection range. I think he might be able to hold on for one lap. At the moment Hobbsy's target should be P2. There's Kryko, a retirement in the pit lane from, I think that was from P11. Interesting choice there. It is still worth points, though obviously only a couple of points. And Kryko coming off a win last week at Qatar. So the two leaders are now separated by over a second. Strange can now just drive off into the sunset. Already dreaming of the podium, of the champagne. Looks like for the moment he has got this in the bag. Don't want to commentators curse him, but it looks very, very strong for him at the moment. Here we go, this could get interesting. Hope having to deal with a 2x2 behind him. Dylan and Victor side by his side. Victor with the inside line for final corner. What's going to happen here? Victor still on the inside, and Dylan having to surrender the position for the moment. 7 laps remaining, 3/4 of the race done. So far Dylan is on the soft tyres, but he needs to make the most of them while they are still fresh. And also fastest lap from P9, so as long as he's in the top 10 he will get the bonus point for that. As Dylan, little moment there, perhaps the tyres overheating after that battle. Now actually battling right the way down in P13 here, Steiny and Tigriff. Did either of them get the DRS there? Didn't look like any of them did. Steiny going a little bit wide, Tigriff trying to be cheeky up the inside here. Now we're going to look for the cutback, it's not going to be there. Steiny knows to close that off. very hard to get on the throttle up the inside, and in the end, Steiny does come out on top of that battle. Although, having said that, looking for the move now around the outside. And what a move! Has he managed to make it stick? Steiny now giving himself, sorry, Tigriff giving himself the inside line. I think he has made that work in the end. Pulled right onto the back of the house, nearly giving him a tap on the rear. The medium's going to have the slight pace advantage, not quite the same degree as the softs would have. For the moment, the age of them is going to be a faster car. Ooh, hang on, what was this? Tigriff, a mistake. Now I wonder, was that deliberate to try and get him back for the main straight again? And here we go. So DRS going to Steiny. Tigriff, interestingly, not in the slipstream, but looking around the outside, looking for the cutback now. It's not going to happen. The best bet is to get DRS for the main straight. Get a good exit here, which he certainly seems to have done. Look at that nice usage of the inside and the outside curb. Now, inside outside, what's he going for? He's going for the outside, around the outside of the Aston Martin. Can he make it work? Shiny trying to hold the inside. Tigriff around the outside. Is it going to stick? It's no sort of in, not really in enough. Steiny was meaner, he could have cut him off, but Steiny in the end coming out on top, holding onto that P13, which by the way is worth no points at all, but I'm sure these two drivers are having a boatload of fun with this battle. I believe both drivers, Germans, quite possibly in the same party together, from what I know of them. It's an overtake there, Nolsey up into P8. Past AJ. And hang on, what's this? That is a... oh, that's a slow Farrell. Farrell, I guess, hungry for fastest lap. Which means he ought to try and get clean air. No drivers are allowed to get past the third laps. Atomic would use it too much. As long as they're significantly faster, which he will be on those tyres. So, three-way battle for the last place on the podium. Legends tyres are older, they're a harder compound. Victor and Taupe behind have not been able to do too much so far. As further down there, we see Steiny and Tigriff swapping positions again. Not on the screen, you can see the timing board. They keep changing between the two of them. So here we go, Legend, a bit of a gap, but Taupe threatening Victor here. Seems a 3 wide is happening. Taupe on the inside, Victor on the middle, Legend on the outside, blindsided by the both of them. Legend looking for the cutback as Victor goes wide. Taupe coming out on top, Legend now pulling to the right of Victor on the outside, and Victor forced to back out to avoid losing the front wing, to avoid spinning off Legend. It's Taupe who comes out on top in the end of that. So, what can they all do? This middle part of the track, very, very hard to go through. Takes you seeing lots and lots of side-by-side battles. It's only really once you've already got something going through that first long right-hander. Actually right on the back, extremely hard to make a move of it. Jump back on board with P13, battles and mind a bit of contact between the two of them. These two fighting their hearts out for P13 here, creating a very good bit of entertainment. Tigriff pulling right to the inside, actually almost almost completely over the white line there, going in a little bit deep. Steiny getting the cut back, it seems. And Steiny back into P13. Tigriff losing out to him for the moment. These two just shy of 4 laps left. There's Victor going with the move on Legend into P4. Actually, a little bit of a slide into that corner there. Doing it with a bit of style. Ooh! Thought he was slotting him behind. In the end, Legend dropping back. Contact with Victor. Now, I believe that's just going to be a racing incident completely. Did Nolsey go into the back of him? Nolsey out of this race. Hang on, I've got to watch that back. What happened there? I think Nolsey must have gone into the back of him. No safety car, of course, too late into the race. Such a shame from Nolsey. As Victor and Tope are still in a little bit of a battle. Though it seems the greater on-track spectacle is further down, and now with Nolsey, oh, as Tigriff goes for a spin. I was going to say, with Nolsey out of this race, Steiny and Tigriff are now battling for 1 point. The winner of their little battle is going to get 1 point. And Steiny, actually, yeah, Steiny is lifting a little bit. He wants to keep battling Tigriff. He's enjoying this battle. I think I was right when we said the two of them in at party, choosing to battle a little bit when it's just for 1 point. Sure, no one really minds too much. There's no championship fixing for friends. Tigriff Tyre is not going to be the happiest with him. So Legend, after that contact down into P7, Nolsey out of this race. And what is this? The two of them both seem to be really lifting here. They're not waiting for Farrell, are they? So actually, speaking of Farrell, here's the race lead as Strange. 4.7 seconds clear of Hobbsy, well into the lead. Been a while since we've checked in with him. And soon looking to lap Farrell. Farrell, the man who currently has fastest, well, relatively unchallenged. Hobbsy himself in a fairly secure P2. Might be a risk behind from Tope though. That gap has closed down a little bit. This lap and the next one left, and if he can get himself within DRS range, this would be interesting for P2 in the race. 24 points for P2, 20 points for P3, 30 for the win. Said that in a weird order. Bunch of gaps all hanging about that 1 second mark. Second down to 6th. Who's going to get DRS? Who's not? Not sure any of them have actually. We've got a yellow where Steiny and Farrell continue to fight further down the order. I think these two are playing DRS chicken now. Sorry, Steiny and Tigriff, not Steiny and Farrell. So Steiny now with the inside line. We'll hop on board with Tango. He's got himself onto the back of Dylan. So Tango's got DRS. Tope on this last lap. If he can get near enough, can only be dreaming of getting past Hobbsy on that back straight. We'll see if it happens. At the moment looking very strong for Hobbsy now. The top 3 on track are all in the top 4 in the championship. Second in the championship though being Scream, is way down at P11 at the moment. Although looking to make a move on Carl, judging by that timing gap. Like I say, looking to make a move, he's almost certainly going to make it any second now. See if that does happen. So Scream looking for a send up the inside, a little bit of contact, a little bit of argy-bargy, working his way through, getting past there as AJ getting past Legend further down. See this battle still raging on. Not many points up for offer, but here we go. I will hop on board with Strange as he rounds this hairpin for the final time. And what a race he has led. Very strong from start to finish. The perfect strategy And here we go, Strange to win Chinese Grand Prix. Hobbsy just fending off potential title rival of Taupe. And then Victor coming home 4th, Tango 5th, Dylan 6th. AJ Wuhan going to be P7, but penalties, is that going to be down to P8 or P9? Really not sure here. By the way, is going to move down the order. Legend picking up P7. Nelly does get P8 in the end. So Carl, the next man. Scream, is he out of fuel? Yeah, Scream ran out of fuel, picking up 1 point for that P11. So the two Germans, here's Steiny Tigriff putting on a bit of a show. Enjoying the battle with each other, even if it's only for 1 point and actually giving Steiny's penalty. Tigriff has won that 1 point already. And here we go, Steiny Tigriff, who's going to get it on track? You know what, if they keep slowing up like this, the answer might be Farrell, who's just behind them. In the end, on track, it is Tigriff who also gets it as well, due to penalties from the others. There we go, that is the end to the race. Actually, Steiny dropping down to P14 because of penalties. The game giving Victor the driver of the day, although I've already seen one man give it to Strange, which I think completely agree with that sentiment. I will see if the drivers are up for a post-race interview. Our 3 podium boys, I would imagine Hobbsy would be. Can't say for certain about the other 2. But there we go. What a dominant display by Strange. A couple of VSCs, no safety cars. Shame for Legend that accident happened, so I think that falls on his own shoulders. A quick run through of the order, one final time. Strange winning out this race, extending his championship lead, followed by Hobbsy and Taupe, his championship rivals. Victor Tango probably fairly happy with that result, given where he started out. Dylan, Legend, Nelu Safu, AJ Wuhan, Carl finishing out the top 10. Scream and Tigriff, finishing out the points. Farrell down in P13, the fastest lap. Steiny, our last finisher. Then Nolsey, Ryko, Pan, Waitsy and Greaves all DNFing from that race. So far we've got, who is it? Strange and Hobbsy happy for the interview. Right, I need to set up that party then, so give me a quick okay. I think one of them in the end. Yeah. Do not have Strange friended, so I was not able to add him. I will try one more time. I might be able to get Hobbsy to add him for me once he has joined. Might end up just having to friend him if he keeps on winning like this to make life a bit easier. Right, hello there, Hobbsy. Do you by any chance have Strange friended and are able to add him to this group? I can't hear you if you're talking. Ah, got yourself muted. You there, Hobbsy? Right, so Hobbsy is in the party with me, but I can't currently hear him. He is muted. I will try. There you are. Nice.
I'm here.
Hello.
I'm here.
Nice. Do you have Strange friended so you can add him to the party? I was unable to do so, so I don't know if you have Strange.
I should do.
Nice. But actually, while you're doing that, I'll check what. Do you know what race next week is? Didn't think to check now.
Someone said Canada.
Ooh.
But I haven't checked myself.
Yeah. I'll have a double check, make sure that is.
Yeah, it is Canada.
Yeah. Montreal's always a good one. Right. So, well, while you're here, and we're waiting for Strange, I'll ask you some questions. So, a P2 just by the skin of your teeth. I think one more lap and that would have been a P3. How did you find it? Expecting a P2 or?
Yeah, it was good. No, I didn't think I'd be up there, to be honest. I mean, I qualified was first by the end of lap 1, I think, or lap 2. So that helped a lot because I was just able. You say at the end there, my tyres were gone. So one more lap, he would have got me. He could have. To be fair, I was expecting him to send it on me going into the hairpin, but I was just sort of position my car in the middle of the track and just hoped he didn't.
Yeah.
Luckily, I got a decent enough exit to hold on to second, which yeah, I'm happy with.
You do seem to be the man who. You're definitely not the fastest on this grid. You are remarkably consistent, which you seem to have carried through all the seasons of CRL. I fear the day you were the fastest in a tier, because you will absolutely run away with it.
Well, with the exception of last game, because that was a disaster. But yeah, because I used to be over one lap merchant, but I'm getting there with the race pace. So
yeah. Well, kind of in my head, you're
hopefully
always
around the corner.
that Mr. Consistent P5. You remain in that P5, and no one challenges you. You're always there somehow. But I don't know if you've ran the numbers. Strange, of course, already leading the championship, just won, puts him on exactly 100 points. I believe you and Taupe are currently tied for second. Both of you on 82 points. So 18 point behind Strange, but you're joint second at the moment. I don't know who gets it on countback. Doesn't really matter this early in the season, but strong start to the championship nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if
I didn't expect to be this high, so. No, you've always got to look, but not pay attention until the last few rounds, really.
Well, yeah, that's what you've got to do, isn't it?
So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and
Yeah, well, I mean, start of the race, of course, we saw Kryko and Taupe both fall back. Was that just medium tyres proving superior? Was that you outmanoeuvring them? I saw some smart plays where he got through on the back straight and then you got them back again on the front straight. Certainly seemed to work well for you there. Was that tyres or just you outsmarting them?
I don't know. I mean, I think I've got good exits going on to the main straight, which allowed me to sort of, because sector 1 I struggled with a lot. I was on a different line pretty much every lap, so I knew I had to get in the lead or overtake at least before the first braking zone, because I'd lose time. Yeah.
One thing I did notice about your driving specifically, a lot of drivers were scared or either just outright missing the inside curb on the last corner, and you seem to have had that down. I think every time I saw you take it, pretty much you managed it a better exit than the guys ahead of you, which combined with the DRS was a fairly easy overtake. An overtake into turn 1 you managed quite nicely. I think with Strange not yet joining.
Just avoiding the Stranger's in, it says.
Oh, is he? Oh, I missed him join the party. Ah, nice. Sorry, I was busy waiting for you to join. I hadn't noticed you had. Okay, well, that's good news. Then first off, congratulations on your win and extended lead of the championship. Complete dominance by you. Didn't matter the other guys undercut you. Worked perfectly in the end. How did you find it?
Yeah, well, thank you, first of all. Very happy with it right now. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really know how that could happen because it's not a strong track for me normally. I don't know, first time for me racing on F122 on this track. Yeah, I'm just kind of surprised, but also very, very happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah, you've now extended your championship lead from 8 to 18 points, although Taupe and Hobbsy both 18 points behind you. So still keeping you humble, making sure you don't get too far away from the rest of the field, but looking good so far. I think, was it you who said in the past you weren't too bothered about the championship, or was that Taupe? I can't remember.
Sorry, I just didn't quite catch that.
How much you focused on the championship, essentially?
Yeah, I barely look at the standings, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe now I'm a little nervous that I knew I won in the first place. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on not looking at it. Maybe,
Yeah, and until the last few rounds where the pressure kicks in. But I've got to ask you, Canada, good track, bad track?
Normally I'd say good track. Yeah, the thing that worries me a little bit is the track limit, actually.
Yeah.
That one turn, I don't know the turn number, it should be like, maybe 2? I don't know. I drive without line, and yeah, that's kind of hard to hit out in this ride. It's so easy to just cut the inside there, and yeah, I can see myself picking up multiple seconds penalties there. That's more of a problem on that K65, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, to be fair, given your lead, even a top 6 would guarantee you hold on to the championship next week. So, looking good so far. I know you aren't too bothered about the championship, but a lot of Tier 2 seem to be not particularly bothered about the championship, more just enjoying the fun of the racing itself. Hobbsy, how about you with Canada? I didn't quite get around to asking.
I like Canada. I've always liked Canada.
Yeah, it does seem to be the general consensus amongst the drivers. Everybody likes Canada. One of the more famous circuits. Of course, you've got the Wall of Champions, who, Strange, it's your job to hit that one. But yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream here. I can't actually go watch Tier 1 because Tier 1 is now at the same time as Tier 2. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next week at Canada.